Welcome to the AI React podcast, where we react to everything and anything. And today, we're diving deep into a classic. We're going to be talking about Nas N.Y State of Mind.
I love this song.
I know, right?
Yeah.
It's off of his iconic debut album, Illmatic. We're going to be using the song lyrics from Litris.com and also the song's Wikipedia page. And it's super interesting how this song, it has these like raw depictions of New York City, like gritty,
Yeah.
but then at the same time, it's like critically acclaimed,
Yeah.
like it's been praised as art.
It's even in the Norton Anthology of African American Literature.
Exactly. And you feel that intensity right away, like from the first verse.
Oh, yeah.
And now it's just like he doesn't hold back. He throws you right into like the heart of 90s New York, like bullet holes left in my peepholes, running like a cheetah with thoughts of an assassin.
I mean, the imagery is so vivid and it's disturbing, but it's also like, you can't look away,
Right, exactly. And it's not just about shock value, right?
No, definitely not. It's painting a picture of like the reality, of what Nas was living in. You get the violence, the poverty, that feeling that like the drug trade is just like everywhere.
Yeah, it's heavy. And then he hits you with that line, sleep is the cousin of death.
Ooh, chills every time.
Right. It's like chilling, but almost poetic at the same time.
It's so genius because like you think about it and it works on so many levels. Literally, if you think about like the dangerous streets, sleep could mean like you're vulnerable, right?
Yeah.
You let your guard down, you might not wake up.
So it's about like a need for constant vigilance.
Exactly. You can't ever really rest. But then there's also like the metaphorical meaning. Like, what if sleep represents something else?
Okay, yeah, like
the death of dreams.
Yeah.
The feeling that your circumstances are so heavy, so crushing that you can't even imagine a better future. Like, hope itself is dying.
Whoa, that's deep.
Right. It's like the environment itself is suffocating any kind of hope. But what's interesting is that the Wikipedia page mentions that Nas was influenced by Kool G Rap's Streets of New York for this song.
Oh, okay.
But then, get this, Kool G Rap later sampled N.Y State of Mind in his own work. Like, it came full circle.
Whoa, wait, so it's like Kool G Rap influenced Nas.
Yeah.
But then Nas influenced Kool G Rap.
Right. Like this back and forth, this exchange of like New York storytelling through hip hop. It's pretty amazing when you think about it.
It's like a feedback loop. Like, yeah, that's cool.
Right. And it really shows how like artists build on each other's work. You get this lineage of sound, of narrative, of experience that gets passed down and transformed. But let's move on, because in the second verse, things get even more complicated. Like, we see Nas wrestling with his aspirations. He wants that gangster lifestyle, the wealth, the power. He's talking about drinking Monets, holding techs, like living that life.
But then he reminds us that he's just a nigga walking with his finger on the trigger. Like, it's that push and pull between his dreams and his reality,
Exactly. And, like, think about this line, I'm gonna hijack Delta. I mean, where does that kind of thought even come from?
Desperation. I mean, that's what it sounds like to me. Like, he's just seeing, like, no other options,
It definitely points to that, like, limited options, feeling trapped, feeling desperate. But I don't think it's just about desperation. To me, it's also about control. Like, wanting agency in a world where it feels like you have none. It's a powerful statement, even if it's coming from a dark place.
I see what you mean. But he does say New York is full of villains and creeps. So, like, he's not romanticizing that life at all.
No, definitely not. He's very aware that even if he achieves the gangster dream, it's not going to solve the deeper problems.
Yeah.
The systemic issues that are plaguing his community. He wants that legal luxury life, but he also feels held like hostages. Like, he sees the system working against him no matter what path he chooses.
Right. I get that bleakness, but there's also, like, isn't there some hope in there too?
Oh, absolutely.
Like, he wants something better. He sees a legal path.
Yeah.
Even if it feels impossible.
Exactly. It's that complexity that makes Nort's State of Mind more than just a gangster story.
Yeah.
It's a commentary on society, on the forces that shape our lives, and that's why it's in the Norton Anthology. It's not just a hip-hop track. It's a work of art, a powerful one.
Yeah, it's definitely something else.
It really is. And that's what makes it so relevant, even today. Like, yeah, the specifics are about 90s New York.
Right.
But those themes, like struggling and trying to be resilient and trying to find something better, like, that resonates with everyone,
Totally. I mean,
Sure.
How many times have we felt stuck? Like the system is just like working against us, even if it's not like the same streets as Nas.
Yeah, totally. And I think that's where the brilliance of DJ Premier's production comes in. Like, it adds this whole other layer to the storytelling, you know what I mean?
Oh, for sure. The music is, like, so key to the whole mood of the song. Like, it's dark and gritty, but also kind of beautiful at the same time.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you hear that low piano loop.
Yeah.
That's DJ Premier sampling, like, a jazz record.
Yeah.
And that wasn't common in hip-hop back then. Like, it gave
Whoa.
it gave it this almost, like, film noir vibe, you know?
Yeah, I could see that.
Almost like he scored a movie,
Yeah.
but for Nas's lyrics, and it's so effective.
Right. And the Wikipedia entry mentioned that Nas wrote that first verse in one take, like in the studio.
Isn't that wild?
It's crazy.
Like the raw talent, just words flowing out of him. It's like a direct line
Just channeling it,
into his state of mind.
Oh, yeah. It's like, okay.
Right. Yeah, like it's so raw.
Okay, so the Wikipedia entry also says that Premier added the Rakim scratch to the beat.
Oh, yeah.
I know Rakim is a rapper, but, like, what's a Rakim scratch?
So DJ Premier took, like, vocals from a Rakim song, and he scratched them using a turntable, creating this, like, rhythmic element that adds to the texture of the song. It's like weaving these different threads of sound together to create this sonic tapestry that almost mirrors, like, the complexity of the lyrics.
Wow, that's fascinating. I never knew that about the production of the song. It's like every layer, you know, from the lyrics to the samples to the scratching, it's like they all, like, add depth and meaning, you know.
Totally.
Makes you appreciate the artistry even more.
It does. And speaking of artistry, like, it's no surprise that N.Y State of Mind consistently ranks, like, super high on, like, all those lists of, like, the greatest rap songs and hip-hop beats of all time.
Oh, yeah, for sure. It's iconic.
Yeah.
But the reach of the song, like, goes beyond music, too, right?
Yeah, definitely. It's been used in, like, so many things, like video games, TV shows, like Ozark.
Oh, wow.
You name it. Like, N.Y State of Mind has become, like, this cultural touchstone, you know?
Yeah, it's crazy to think that a song written, like, over 30 years ago still has, like, that much power today, you know?
It's true. And it really speaks to, like, the power of art to transcend time, you know? Even though the context might be different, those emotions, those struggles, the desire for something better, like, that's timeless. That's universal.
Yeah, you know, it's interesting because, like, on the one hand, the song feels very specific to Nas's experience, like, in New York, you know?
Right.
But then you hear lines like, held like hostages, and it makes you think about, like, all the people around the world that are facing, like, similar situations, you know, like systemic oppression.
You're so right. It's almost like he's giving a voice to people who don't have one, you know, like he's speaking for those who feel trapped, marginalized, forgotten.
It's definitely a powerful message. So, like, in the end, is In Your State of Mind a song of despair or a song of resilience? Like, it feels like both, you know?
I think that's the beauty of it. Like, it leaves you with that question, and it forces you to kind of, like, confront those complex emotions.
Yeah.
And think about what it means for your own life.
Yeah, it makes you think. What are, like, some takeaways you hope our listeners get from this deep dive?
I think for me, it's understanding that art can be this powerful tool for social commentary, you know? Like, it can reflect reality, but it can also challenge it and spark conversation and maybe even inspire some change.
Yeah, and maybe even, like, provide some solace, too, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Like, knowing that you're not alone in those feelings.
Absolutely. Like, even in the darkest of places, there's always hope, and N.Y State of Mind reminds us of that.
That's a great point. Like, it's not just about enjoying the music. It's about, like, letting it spark something deeper, you know?
Totally. And I think N.Y State of Mind definitely does that.
Yeah. Well, huge thanks to you, like always, for all your insights on this deep dive.
Oh, of course. Happy to be here. I always love, like, exploring these artistic landmarks with you.
And to our listeners, thank you for joining us on this journey through Nas's N.Y State of Mind. We highly encourage you to, go and check out the full lyrics, the Wikipedia page, and obviously, like, listen to the song.
Yeah.
It's a masterpiece.
Definitely. It deserves to be, like, experienced and contemplated.
Couldn't agree more. Until next time, keep diving deep. And as always, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. The podcast sponsor is in the description below, so go and check them out. Thanks.